Hey, so these are the preliminary predictions for February 2026. This is what I predicted last time, and I came pretty close, I think. 2 out of 3 for sure, yes, but I did have real property under the wild. So I wrote trust and secured transactions here that I wrote this, and I want to show you the reason why I wrote it is because of this here, the way I read it, and just so you could see where I'm coming from, when I put that as a wild card, it wasn't even a predicted subject, but I guess people are gonna talk, right? So this is why I wrote it, because it says here tested primarily. So I wanted to be safer, just put it as a wild card, but a lot of people didn't like that. So this time I will definitely not put those as wild cards just to make hopefully they've passed and they moved on. There was a couple people that freaked out. So anyways, I would say contract and tort for sure, if not a crossover. And then I'd say like a family law. And Florida is really big on ethics. So I could see ethics being sprinkled into the family law one, if not contract and torts too. Like just, you know how they do one line and says ethical something. So I would watch for that. And let's see, I did real property. So we will eliminate these two here just to keep you know what, that's fine with me. I would say you could do the juvenile thing again, and then you can do also, because it can repeat, it's repeated in the past, you could do crimes again as a wild card, right? I'll do a separate video on the details of what happened here. Con law, I'm gonna not put down because they've tested it twice in a row. So let's go with crimes. Let's go with, yeah, those subjects there. These three and the wild cards, okay? So give it a thumbs up this time instead of a thumbs down, and it'll encourage me to do and a comment, and it'll encourage me to do detailed predictions for each of these. We'll look at what they've tested and then what specifically within contract and torts that this time in family law and evidence. Okay, these are the detailed predictions for Florida, February 2026. Amazingly, contract and torts wasn't tested at all. So let's look at what happened in February 25 with that contract question. So we go to the app here, we go to Florida, say drills, February 2025. Contracts, so it's common law, meaning not UCC. Let's write that down here. And we have a breach of contract, repudiation, and a mistake, the three excuses. So we have breach, repudiation, parole evidence rule, liquidated damages. Okay, let's take a look at this contract question. Same thing, 225. So it's crossed over with family law, car accident, negligence. I'll just put exam, okay? Eggshell, vicarious. I started thinking about the family law, but I just focused on the tort aspect, and because I see that I predicted it as the second prediction is family law, so we'll get into those aspects separately. Okay, joint and several liability. Okay, what's number? I'm gonna put tort, frost over. Okay, here we go. So 224, number 1, contracts, torts, and ethics. Looks like UCC to me because it's a ring, tangible, movable good. Okay, it's also torts. So let's also do the tort aspect, and always just be aware of the ethics because it's like in everything, right? They always mix it in. Okay, we're looking at 224. Yeah, I wrote it up here. It's in. So as far as contracts, let's get this outline again. Third-party beneficiaries, formation, PER, mistake, repudiation, modification, and then this is contractual interference, the tort aspect, tortious interference with a contract. Let's see, let's just have one thing in interference with contract. Okay, let's look at 723. 2, 3, and 1. Oh yeah, it's crossed over here. Wow. Okay, I'm looking for the contracts. Okay, I don't see any contracts issues, do you? Because it's only torts and ethics. Okay, negligence, wrongful death, liability, parent liability, comparative fault. Okay, let's look at number 2. So it's crossed over with real property. Contracts for sale of land. So that means common law. Crossed over with real reliance, formation, statute of breach, unjust enrichment. Okay, let's look at 223. Question 1 looks like UCC because we're talking about 50,000 units, tangible goods. So formation, Hi, okay, so here we are, 223Q1. So we have contract UCC formation, confirmatory memo, repudiation, further assurances, which is further assurance, duty to mitigate the damages, lost profits, liquidated damages. Then it's crossed over with ethics, of course. Punitive damages. Torts also crossed over with ethics. Negligence, compensatory damages, pure comparative, Florida. I'll put pure comparative. Intervening causes, IIED, and defamation. Let's take a look at 722 and 3. So it's crossed over and ethics. So it's a land sales contract, so common law crossed with real property. Duty disclose, land sales contract. Misrepresentation, so it's kind of merge, probably like a termite thing or a flooding. Representation. Services contracts, for alarm system. So formation. Perform. Okay. 721 question crossed over with ethics. UCC. Perfect tender. Statute of frauds. Providence rule. Liquidated damages of the form. Specific performance. Okay. 1020 pandemic times. 1020 question number 3. Contract common law. Breach, defrauds. 13th Amendment concerns contract, common law. Is it crossed over with it? No. 13th Amendment, which is a personal services. You can't make anyone do anything, see, in America. Is that slavery? Breach, statute of frauds, parole evidence rule, covenants not to compete. I saw something else that looked inducement fraud. Okay. Last one for contracts here. Question number 1, 1020Q1. No, that's con law. No contracts in there. Torts. Okay, good. Torts cross with con law. Defamation, qualified privilege, invasion of privacy torts, defamation, intrusion upon seclusion, all those torts, right? Defamation, qualified privilege. So they call your old boss and they say something about you and you're privileged, right, to talk about them. Okay, so what's my prediction then? I think it's going to be a crossover, and I think you should look into this defamation since it hasn't been done in a while. If it's con law, this would be tort, con law. So I'll put tort, I'll just predict both. So this defamation, privacy torts, that looks good. And then I would say for contracts, I'd say con law, common law, and this whole 13th for personal services, I think they like doing that one. Okay, so that's the 1020. That was very deep in the pandemic at that time. Okay. Oops. So let's look at the family law. It's crazy because evidence, so I have the app goes all the way back to 2012, and evidence we only have 2, so that should be quick to look at. Okay, so for family law, 225 Q2. Who's the third? Okay, family law 225 Q2. Okay, so it's separated A, B, and C. So we hone in on B, parental responsibility, child custody, parental responsibility. Customony and alimony. 724. Family law is crossed over with con law. So equitable distribution, alimony, dissolution, alimony, grounds for dissolution. Okay, 723. A pure non-crossover right here. So time sharing, best interest of the child, BOIC, child support, alimony, family. Not that surprising. They're all 718. Parental rights, adoption, and grandparents' rights. 17. Q1. Dependency. Or dependent. Yeah, dependency. Okay. Child abandonment. Marriage. Married. Child from marriage presumption. That they're biological, right? Grandparents again. Obergefell. Same-sex marriage. Okay. Grandparents and Obergefell. Okay. So that one's pure, pretty much. Okay. 217. We're going back. 217 crossed over with trust. Okay. Yeah, this looks pure trust to me. Oh, here. Child support. Okay. 1A. Do you see how it says child support and trust? Short answer, you can't avoid child support. You can't shield that. I think look into this child abandonment, 717, check that out. And I think it'll be a pure one because you've had 2 in a row that are crossed over. I think it'll be a pure one, to be honest. Okay? Okay. Last essay, and then we'll do the wild cards for a different video, but I only have 2 anyways. Okay, 719, evidence. So it's crossed over with crim and con law, Florida con law aspect. This almost seems more criminal procedure to me. Maybe it's the text messages as evidence right there, number 2 as well. So I would say text messages, statements to law enforcement. Okay. 218 crossed over with 218. Okay, I think that's it. Just take a look at this one. This only evidence essay that I see. Let me know in the comments if you find some more essays and I'll take a look at them. But this is all the way back to 2012, so I mean, kind of wide, really. So let me know and we could do another, like in the wildcard video, I could talk more about evidence.